Today, we are going to talk about self-introduction. The answer to that dreaded question. Tell me about yourself. Now, to some of you, this topic may seem very basic. But learning to introduce yourself properly is incredibly important. You might need to introduce yourself without any forewarning, so you need to be prepared. You may need to introduce yourself in your English class or in a job interview. You might need to introduce yourself at a new job, or at a new hobby or leisure activity. You may even need to introduce yourself at a big event or convention in front of thousands of people. I feel very nervous and anxious when I have to introduce myself to large groups of people, and English is my first language. For learners of English, for my students, this is incredibly intimidating. In order to successfully introduce yourself, you must have your self-introduction pre-written and learned. You have to be prepared. In this video, I am going to guide you through this process. At the end of this lesson, you will have a complete self-introduction that is ready to use and ready for you to learn off by heart. I encourage you to share your introductions in the comments section down below so that the community and I may assist you and correct you. So let's start with the basics of a self-introduction. The very first thing that you'll need to say when introducing yourself is a greeting. Now, you can have formal greetings or you can have informal greetings. It depends where you are, the situation you are in. Let's start with formal greetings. Obviously, hello can be both formal and informal. But it's fine to use it in a formal situation. You also have good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Make sure you pay particular attention to what time of day it is. I have said good morning in the evening and good evening in the morning before. One thing to note is the use of good day. In British English, good day is considered very old-fashioned. Very formal. It's not commonly used. However, it is very common in Australian English. They kind of shorten it down to good day, good day. And I would say that good day. I wonder what Emma from English will think of me saying. Good day, will she approve? I'll ask her, but good day is more informal. But this again is if you're in Australia. It's just something I've noticed people using. In my comment section, good day, and I can see why you would use it. It appears to be a greeting that is suitable for all hours of the day. When in reality, in British English, it's just a very old-fashioned saying. Also note that good night is normally a send-off, an equivalent for goodbye. You say it when you are leaving, instead of when you are greeting someone. If you're introducing yourself in the nighttime, you would say good evening. Now, let's talk about informal greetings. It's really important for you to find one that you feel comfortable with. There are lots of informal greetings like, hey, what's up, hi. Yo, there's even what's good, which is quite an American one, honestly. If I said yo, and I was introducing myself in an English class, or in a less formal situation, I would feel really stupid because it doesn't suit me. My particular region doesn't use it, so it feels a bit forced. I really admire people who can just stand up and say yo, what's good, but it's not gonna happen for me. So make sure you pick one that you feel really comfortable saying. Next, of course, we have your name. Now, there are many ways of introducing your name. The very basic ones, like I'm Lucy. I am Lucy, or if you're introducing yourself in a situation where the majority of the audience cannot see you, for example, on the telephone, no one can really see you. When you're speaking on the telephone, you can say, my name is, or my name's with the apostrophe S, the contracted form. Or if you're in a very large auditorium or convention center, then you might want to use this as this is Lucy. On the telephone, I would normally say hi. This is Lucy speaking, or this is Lucy next. Let's talk about location. where you're from, and where you're living. There are many variations of this. I'm going to start with the most basic and move on to slightly more complicated ways of describing your geographical location. Firstly, we have I'm from and then the place name. I'm from Bedfordshire. We also have I'm and then the nationality objective. I'm British, I'm English. If you are from somewhere, that is quite far from the place where you're introducing yourself, you can say I come from. And then you can name that place. Come from implies a little bit more of a journey. If you want to say where you grew up, you can say I was born and raised in place name. I was born and raised in England. If you were born in one place, but grew up in a different place, you can say I was born in France but raised in Sweden. If you want to say that you are from one place, but now living in another place, there are various options. You can say I grew up in. I grew up in LA but now live in New York. I'm originally from Edinburgh, but I'm now based in London. If you want to say how long you have lived in a certain place, you can say I've been living in London for 3 years. Or I've spent the past few years in Paris. Now those are the basics. Let's talk about some other options that you can add onto your self-introduction. A very important option is your position and your company. For example, I work at Google in the marketing department. You can say I work at or I work for. You would not say I work in and then a company name. It's at or for a company name. You can also say I'm a manager at Starbucks. I'm a position at company. Again, the act can also be replaced with a for. If you just want to give a general idea of the field in which you work, you can say I work in general area. I work in sales. If you want to give the specific position, you can say I work as a deputy manager. I work as an accountant. I work as an accountant. You might also want to mention your qualifications, especially if you are introducing yourself in a job interview. If you want to say that you are close to graduation, you can say I'm about to graduate. You could also say I am a subject graduate or postgraduate. I'm a marketing graduate. I have a Bachelor of Arts degree in marketing. Or I have a BA degree in marketing. Or just a BA in marketing. I'm a biology postgrad. Shortening it down to grad is more informal, so it might be something that you do at a convention or in your English class. If you want to talk about courses or other achievements, you can say I'm currently taking a course in subject. Maths, now note the preposition in versus on. You can take a course in something theoretical, like maths. You can take a course on something practical, like jewelry making or pottery. You can also remove the preposition, I'm taking a pottery course. If you want to say that you finished a course, it's now on your CV. You can say, I have completed a 72-hour course in or on subject. For the time scale of the course, you can say the number dash and then the unit of time. And that together forms an adjective, a 72-hour subject course, a 3-day subject course. Now, if you want to talk about experience, about your previous jobs, you can say, I have number years of experience in the field. I have 3 years of experience in the neuroscience field at whichever company. You don't necessarily have to say field. You can say, I have 10 years of sales experience, or I have 10 years of experience in sales. You can also say, I've worked in field, for however long you've worked there. I've worked in the accounting field for 3 years, or I've worked in accounting for 3 years. Now, if you are in a more informal situation, one in which you're introducing yourself to make friends and to meet people and to get to know each other better, you may want to talk about your family. Now, obviously, there are the normal things like I have a brother, I have a sister, I have a mom and a dad. But what if you want to give a little bit more information and also show off your language skills? One common mistake I hear my students make is when they're trying to talk about how large or how small their family is, they want to tell me how many family members that are in their family. I often hear them say we are 5 in our family. This isn't correct in English. In English we say, I'm from a family of number. I'm from a family of 4. Or we are a family of 4. That's a really important one for you to remember. It's a mistake I hear very frequently. If you want to talk about how many brothers or sisters you can say, I am one of 4 siblings. Siblings doesn't specify the gender, so you don't have to say 2 brothers. 1 sister, you can just say siblings 3. I'm one of 4 siblings. Or even if you're already talking about families, you can just say, I'm one of 4, and they'll understand you. If you have no brothers or sisters, you can say, I am an only child. I'm an only child, you might want to talk about hobbies. You have all the usual phrases like, I really like running, I really enjoy tennis. A really good phrase, I think, is, I'm a big fan of go-karting. You can also say I am a keen and then a noun. For example, I'm a keen runner or I'm a keen tennis player. Now, I've left this one till last because it really isn't as necessary anymore. But it's important that you know how to say it. It's age, we have the basic one. I am 25 years old, we can shorten it down. I'm 25 if you don't want to specify your age. You can say I'm in my early, mid or late, and then your decade 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Teens as well if you're really young. I'm in my mid-20s, she's in her early teens. He's in his late 40s, you might also hear people say. She's a 20-something marketing graduate. Or he's a 30-something accountant. That's if you don't know their age, or you think it would be rude to try and guess their age. Now, the last point. In this vocabulary section of the lesson, I want to talk to you about the dreaded fun fact. I've been to a lot of events, I've been to a lot of conventions, and I've had to introduce myself in a lot of English classes. And something that teachers and speakers love to ask you to do is give a fun fact about yourself. I must admit I have asked my students to provide a fun fact about themselves. It's annoying cause you have to stand up and say, my name is, I know my job is, and my fun fact is. And that can be really daunting. Intimidating. To suddenly think of an interesting fact about yourself is really hard. So I highly recommend that you have a fun fact up your sleeve. A fun fact prepared, think about an interesting fear. A weird like or dislike, a good one is always your pet. Or a strange achievement or extraordinary experience. I always say that I have hypermobility, and then I'll just show them my thumbs or dislocate my shoulder blade. That is twice in a month I've done that on YouTube. I need to calm down. Have a think if you want to do bonus homework. Share your fun fact about yourself. But this is optional. I know how horrible the fun fact can be. Now I've given you loads of different options. I've given you the basics, and then you can add on the options, but you'll be left with a lot of short sentences. Let's see how mine would look. Good morning everyone, my name is Lucy. I am 24 years old, I am from Bedfordshire. I work as an English teacher. I am a marketing graduate. I'm a big fan of running and fitness classes. Now, whilst all of that is grammatically correct and very clear if I do say so myself, I think it would be a lot better if I condensed these 7 sentences down into 2. Flowing sentences, what do you think of this? Good morning, everyone. My name is Lucy, and I'm a 25-year-old marketing graduate from Bedfordshire. I now work as an English teacher, and I'm a big fan of running in fitness classes. So much better, so much shorter, so much more natural, say. If you can condense your introduction down to 2 flowing sentences, minus the greeting. That can be a little sentence on its own. I haven't removed any of the information.